Hey, Minimum Effort here, and welcome to the new era of Marvel Snap with snap packs and a whole host of new cards this week. I hope you are enjoying them. I certainly think the snap packs are very good, and a lot of the new cards are good too, so it's a good time to be a player. We're going to do things a little differently this week. We're going to start with a card review for Strange Supreme, and there is a very important reason why we're doing that, which we will get to, and then we'll follow that with the brand new deck for this week. So let's jump into Strange Supreme. He is an excellent card. I recommend getting this card very much. Even if it gets nerfed, I still think it's worth getting because it works well in a lot of decks. So generally, I would recommend getting a card if it's good in 2 or more decks. And this card is good in like 4 decks. This card is good in the 2 decks that I showed you in my video last week, which was the Shield deck and the Clog deck, as well as being good in Thanos, and also good in the Zoo kind of decks. So yeah, this card's really good. Even if it gets nerfed, it's probably going to get nerfed in power, but in those decks it will still do a job and it will still get good numbers. So I think it's worth investing in. So yes, the reason we are looking at this card again is because of my second deck from last week, which was the Clog deck. Let's take a look. So yeah, so this is Clog Supreme, which was one of my decks from the last week's video. This deck in particular is now playing really well. At the time of last week's video, I said the Shield Supreme deck was better because the meta suited it. It works better then. Now, with Move being in the meta, with all the new move cards, Hydra Stomper and all the rest that we got dropped this week, this deck is now, in my opinion, one of the best decks in the game. Because of all the move, this deck counters that so well. As you'll see in the updated stats that I've got above, I'm running a near 90% win rate with this deck, and it keeps on winning. So yes, if you have these cards, I recommend playing this deck because it works so well. The reason it works so well is because if you're clogging your opponent's side of the board, they do not have the space to be moving the cards around like they would want to. Also, Thanos is still in the meta a lot. If you are playing this deck, you are clogging the side of their board. They can't play as many stones or their big power cards. So this deck really makes a difference. And Strange Supreme is really good in this deck. So yeah, so I thought it was important to highlight this this deck because it's really, really good at the moment. So yes, please do check out last week's video for the full breakdown of the deck. And yes, play this deck right now. So my new deck for you this week features Jean Grey. Yes, you may have forgotten, Jean Grey is a card in Marvel Snap. This deck also works really well for the meta because it's forcing your opponent to play in one lane and not be able to move their cards around the board, or if it's Thanos, it forces them to play in one lane first, which makes it easier for you to win that lane. If we take a look at the deck, there are a lot of enablers here for what we're trying to do, and part of this play line is that we have in one lane it's Jean Grey plus Sam Wilson, Captain America, plus the Shield, plus another card. It's going to be easier to see this in the game because I'll be able to properly explain it and you can see it for yourselves. But if you have a lane filled, before you move the Shield out of that lane, you play your cards somewhere else. So the order in which you play your cards is very important, because you play your card first in another lane than the Jean Grey lane because that lane is filled. Then you can move your Shield out. Next turn, you can move the Shield back in and you can still play your cards elsewhere because that lane is then filled. It will make more sense in the gameplay highlights as you can see it, but that is a good way to actually get your power elsewhere on the board as well as maintain that lane. So to do that, we've got a few cards that enable that. So going through the deck, we've got Nebula, because your first, ideally on turn 1, obviously you want to play Nebula. I always play Nebula in the right lane, just because it's an unknown until turn 3 starts, what that location is. But usually you're looking to play Jean Grey probably mid. But obviously it depends on locations as they come up. But yeah, Nebula is very good because if you are playing Jean Grey on turn 3 into a different lane, Nebula can still kind of tick up that power to put power there. Mojo is great because if you are filling that lane on both sides, Mojo gets really good power. Sam Wilson, Captain America, is essential for the movement of the shield, like we just talked about. Fenris Wolf is great in this deck because we are playing, as you'll see, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Shang-Chi, and Black Bolt. They are the enablers for Fenris Wolf. And if you're kind of forcing your opponents to play cards in a certain place, they might suddenly think, I need to put power in this lane to win that lane, so that I can then play my cards elsewhere, which is where Negasonic comes in if you have priority, and where Shang-Chi comes in. So we also have Iron Patriot, just to kind of get extra cards, and also extra kind of locations. If you play Nebula on turn 1 into any lane, and then you play Iron Patriot into a different lane, straight away that's a kind of challenge for your opponent to think, okay, I need to play in, I need to contest one of these lanes right now. Otherwise, Nebula will get more power, or the Iron Patriot card will get its cheaper cost. We have Rocket Raccoon and Groot, because if you play Rocket Raccoon and Groot into the Jean Grey lane, any card your opponent plays into that lane is going to get power taken away, and Rocket Raccoon and Groot will get the power added to it. Negasonic is great in this deck. Yeah, in the Jean Grey lane, or if it's filled, you know your opponent can play somewhere else, Negasonic goes there too. Shang-Chi to obviously destroy cards, Galacta to give you that extra power elsewhere. And then yeah, the Black Bolt Stature combination is kind of gone away a little bit in Marvel Snap, but in this deck it works really well. So yeah, having Stature as a 1-cost card on turn 6 is very useful, because you can play Stature with Shang-Chi, or with a combination of your other cards. And yeah, this deck just works really well. So you'll see from the gameplay highlights how we need to play it, but it's very effective. As you can see, we've got a very good win rate for it. And yeah, it plays really nicely, and it's just nice to play a card like Jean Grey that hasn't seen a lot of play in a long time, and like I said, in the current meta actually works really well. So yeah, please take a look at these gameplay highlights, and remember to like and subscribe down below. Yeah, trying to get some more followers. We do a new video with at least one deck every week, and I will start to do more kind of card reviews as and when they appear. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, good luck out there. Cheers. Okay, cool. Cloning Bats is actually very decent. Yeah, let's play Nebula right. Starbound Crater. Okay, so we're not likely to get a lot of power there before turn 6 or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do have Mojo, so we can start playing to Clone Bats now, because we'll get Mojo and Jean Grey.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Spider-Man goes mid with Nebula, that's okay. Yeah, they're obviously playing some kind of move deck, so playing Jean Grey is going to potentially help us. Obviously it depends on what they move. We can play on turn 4, we can play Rocket Raccoon and Groot into this lane. We can also play our doubled Mojo and Fenris Wolf, because we've always had the option of moving Rocket Raccoon and Groot out and playing Negasonic. So it's Scream, okay fine. Obviously if we move Rocket Raccoon and Groot out, that is going to take some power away from it, but I think we can... Do we leave it there? Can't move the shield out. We have Sam Wilson actually. So we do play Sam Wilson, and we do play Fenris Wolf. So Stegron has moved the shield. Okay, so what we need to do now is play the shield into the location that we think we're not going to win, and we can play the extra power elsewhere. We have priority still, so How many cards are they likely to play into cloning bats now? Move the shield back in. We play. I'm going to play one card this turn. I think it's got to be Negasonic to try to stop them from doing anything. Actually, we're going to. Oh, they can play. We need to try to get priority because basically we can play Negasonic into this lane on turn 6. Plus something else. I think we play Negasonic mid. So that can scare them off winning Starbrand Crater. They still have a space in this lane actually, so that's not too bad. So we're going to force them to play left, but actually we can just try to play mid and right. Of course they get 2 Stegrams. So we do still have priority. What it means is that Fenris Wolf cannot bring anything back unless we discard something and high roll it, but I don't think it's worth it. So what we can do is remove the shield there, and we Galacta, Sam Wilson. Yeah, we don't have anything else to play, so they need to play more than one card. They potentially have a Miles Morales, but let's see. Yeah, we might be able to do something still. It's 2 cards. So 8 power there, so Scream goes there, left, which is fine, and it's Polaris. Polaris moves Sam Wilson. And we win. So yeah, this works really well because it obviously limits what they can do and where they can play. So this works really well, and I'm really pleased this works well against a Scream deck because Scream decks are going to be absolutely everywhere in this current meta. So yeah, this shows you those kind of play avenues, how to kind of move cards in and out, because that's what we could have done if it wasn't a Scream deck. We can move that shield in and out. And get that extra power for Sam Wilson. We only kept him at kind of, we had 2, we had 5 and a 4. But yeah, that was enough to win. So yeah, that's an excellent win. Thank you. Okay, cool. So yeah, Sam Wilson, Raccoon Groot, and Jean Grey is fantastic. Mule Island is also very good. So Windjet. So this is 20 cards, I believe, is Thanos Arisham. Lost Diablo's base. So yeah, we are going to play into Mule Island because we can just fill our cards, and also just getting extra power on the shield is going to be useful as well. So yes, we're going to be forcing them in, but the advantage of having Negasonic is that potentially we can destroy something good that they are going to play with that extra energy maybe next turn. So crossbones. Okay, so let's move the shield out. We have I don't think we can win Muir Island back because we're forcing them to play there. I think we can try a Negasonic. Fury, okay, so they are getting some 6-source cards. Good for them, not good for us. So yeah, because it's... This is the thing about Arisham, obviously they've got 7 cards in hand, which might be good cards. I think what we do is we Black Bolt. Let's just Black Bolt right. We're trying to hit something good. We don't have Fenris Wolf on board, but if we can pull Shang-Chi next turn, we do have some good targets in Muir Island, and we do have Stature, who will be a 1-cost card. Also, because Negasonic is there, they are forced to play into Muir Island. They can't play anywhere else because of Jean Grey. So they are going to destroy a Honshu. Okay. Which is destroyed. They have priority. No, they don't have priority. We have priority. There's Fenris Wolf, but a year too late. So what we do instead is we think, okay, we're not going to win left lane. Do they have enough to win another lane by playing one card here and then something else? Obviously they have extra energy, that's going to come into it, but I think if we go Stature, which will go to 10, that's 13 power in mid, and that's 7 power in ruins. Do we spread it a bit more, because we can move the shield actually to the Black Bolt lane. We can play it there, so we have 10 in each lane then, and we can certainly hope that's enough. They only pay one card, which is Magneto. Not a problem. So yeah, forcing them to play into Jean Grey. They didn't have actually, even with the name of card escapes me. The card that gives you all the energy in the cards, that one, Arisham. Even with that extra energy, and with 5 cards in hand, obviously, yes, some of them were Nick Fury cards actually, so they wouldn't have been able to play a lot of cards if they had high cost cards, so that has worked out really well for us. And it's always nice to be Arisham. Thanks, guys. Cool, we're playing Wraith. I really like the avatar for that Iron Man, that's really cool. Chimichanga is potentially nice. Anything really. Yeah, kind of the lower power cards like Negasonic, even Raccoon Groot getting extra power is good. We don't need to play Chimichanga yet. This is Thanos as well. Excellent. Let's play Sam Wilson into Kowloon. We can move the shield in and out. This must be the featured location. I'm Patriot. Very, very sparkly. I think the gold really goes with it, but there you go. The red cosmic or the blue cosmic might be better, in my opinion. Let's move the shield in. So, Krakow is interesting because if they're forcing them to play there, are they going to be able to get Mockingbird or something into that lane? Are we going to get anything ourselves into Krakoa as well? Oh, we can do actually, because we can force the lane to be full. Play something into Krakoa, potentially Black Bolt. So yeah, Mind Stone, they grab a lot of stones. It's Strange Supreme, so that is going to eat stuff. But if we can obviously get Chi, that is a great target for us. So it's going to be Galacta, and the reason for that is we can fill this lane with the shield on turn 5, play Black Bolt into Krakoa, and that's going to get a load of power, and the next turn obviously we will have 1 cost Stature, plus whatever this card is, but we've got to hope it's a good one really.
Aid my hand.
But we won't be able to play Stop Their Strange Supreme, so we might have to try and win mid and left, but obviously the Black Bolt power will help with that. They do have Soul Stone though, which means Thanos can't be destroyed, and we won't have priority for Negasonic. So yeah, we need something. Mockingbird mid. Shadow King. I mean, they've now filled left, which is fantastic for us. Strange Spring keeps getting bigger mid, which we don't mind that at all. Got a 13 power Fenris Wolf. All of a sudden, and this looks really good. So we don't have priority. They've played Mockingbird already, and they've played Strange Spring already. They could have a Leviathan in the deck. Spectrum, possibly, but we can just go big this lane. So if not Blue Marvel, that would tie. So I don't mind playing Chimichanga there just for a bit of extra security. And we play Stature. Did we move the shield in or out? I can't remember. The field was already there and we're not looking to win, so let's move them out. We do you, Stature. They could potentially play a lot of cards. Let's play Mojo.
Power
Change to a
must
Black
be
Bolt,
controlled.
but that's not going to be enough. I should have played maybe into right lane first. It doesn't really matter though, because we've got more than enough power. 18 power Fenris Wolf. And yeah, Strange Spring keeps on eating, so yeah, that works really well for us. So yeah, Jean Grey there. Obviously they played Storm as well. They went big mid. And they weren't able to put power anywhere else on the board. I'm surprised they didn't put Thanos down. They only played Shang-Chi last turn. Oh yeah, well, good Scarlet was Copycat. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. We are playing Justice Sweetlove. As the Vault is interesting as well, because obviously with Jean Grey we could force them to play into the Vault. Big House again is good. So we Sam Wilson. I'm going to Sam Wilson mid as well. I'm sure we did this in a previous game. So Jeff, okay, so they can move Jeff into the Vault if needed. If can't move, so you give it 1+2 power, so we can move the shield this turn, and then next turn we can move it into Kundan, and we can keep moving back and forth. What we can do as well, because we have priority, they're probably going to start playing into the Vault sooner rather than later. So Rocket, Raccoon and Groot goes into the Vault, and they can also move to Kundan and get power. Let's see what they play. Craven. Okay, so we now obviously not to move cards into that lane. They've got Bob, so they are looking to do some movie moves. Let's keep Rocket, Raccoon and Groot there for now. I think what we can do is we can Iron Patriot and Fenris Wolf this turn. Next turn we can Black Bolt, and then if we can keep priority, we can play some extra cards on turn 6. So yeah, just want to get my order in right. So yeah, it's Iron Patriot this lane, Fenris Wolf this lane. Enchantress. If they hit something like Hydra Stomper, that's where Enchantress could be useful. Silk is obviously going to get them around the board as well. They now have priority, so Thatcher can go potentially mid. Tricky, very tricky. So Vault, we can still move a card. We can move Silk out of Vault. Obviously they can move it back in. So do we just leave it there? Potentially. Rocket, Raccoon and Groot. We're actually going to play mid. I totally forgot what I was doing. So yeah, shield goes back in. Rocket, Raccoon and Groot goes there. We are going to play Negasonic right, because we need to try and win that lane. Forge. And Captain Carter. Are we having Enchantress? That's interesting. That's a one-cost Enchantress. We have Mojo. So. Because of Enchantress. I mean, Negasonic is going to hit whatever they do anyway. I think we Enchantress anyway. I don't have anything that's likely to be of 10 power, so we don't need Shang-Chi specifically. We can move. How much do we want to commit to Riot? 2 cards in hand. They're possibly playing both, but I think we need a Black Bolt. If we can still potentially win left, but it depends a lot on other things. But I think Enchantress plus Negasonic should be enough there. I think it's Mojo, you know. Yeah, let's see. And they retreated. Yeah, cool. Okay. I think, yeah, obviously having Negasonic. Yeah, Negasonic there. Obviously anything they played there would have been destroyed. But man, yeah, they didn't fancy themselves to win into Big House because they probably also, the cards 4, 5 and 6 couldn't even play there either. And they only had 2 cards in hand, so they've restricted what they did. So yeah, that's nice. Nice to win against kind of a move deck as well. We didn't need Jean Grey for this one. But this shows you what you can do with Negasonic. And also Sam Wilson just moving the shield around Raccoon Groot and the threat of Negasonic as well, Fenris Wolf. Yeah, scared them off. So yeah, that is another good win. Okay, so Kunlun is great for us because we have obviously the shield that's going to move around the board, which we can play Sam Wilson onto the middle lane or the right lane. 3 energy is nice. We get a Nebula out as well. No, of course, Jean Grey is interesting, but we are going to play the Sam Wilson first because we know that this lane is safe. We can play Jean Grey into this lane and we can force people to do what we want, basically. As a Ravona, could be a negative, could be ongoing. Rots. Do you know what? Don't mind the rocks. I don't mind it at all. We're going to force them to play. We have Negasonic. We have Fenris Wolf. We can win 2 lanes. I think we can do that with Black Bolt as well, which is great, because if this is kind of a negative deck, we could potentially get rid of something tasty. So we obviously move the shield out. We need to actually... I can't play Negasonic yet, so it's got to be Iron Patriots and Fenris Wolf in the Kunlun lane, because we need space to... space for his card that he activates that he can get. Mockingbird is 1 as well. This is insane. So negative. We know what's coming. So move the shield back in. And we play Black Bolt. Next turn we could potentially play Negasonic and Stature and Mockingbird Actually, space it becomes an issue then with the collapsed mine. So Sage's gone, that's good. Gore comes out. Okay, so because we have priority, we know okay. So we need to play Negasonic. The issue now is the shield and the space. Do we Negasonic left or do we Negasonic mid? Because it's Gore, and because they got in hand. They didn't play Jane Foster. So I think they've only got maybe got one or two cards hit by negative that they can use. Where are they going to play? They're probably going to play. Well, they have to play mid, don't they? They do have to play mid, so we have to play Negasonic there, and then we activate. Oh wait, no, it was discarded. It was destroyed. It was rocks. And it was Sage. We can't actually because the activation will happen before Negasonic destroys anything. So we still play Negasonic there, and we play Mockingbird left. So yeah, we couldn't do anything about that. But what are they going to play with Gore? See if we can snipe something like Mystique. It's Cassandra Nova. That's okay. That dies. It's Iron Man. Iron Man's hitting nothing. And it's Morph. And Morph becomes Collector. So there you go. Yeah, negative. Must be a negative deck as well. A bit of variety. But yeah, we know with negative they've got the option to play a lot of cards on turn 6. So it's then a question of, okay, we know they have to play into Jean Grey. We can play Negasonic. We have enough cards in the other lane that we can win that lane. And actually, keeping the rocks made a difference for us because we could focus our power into 2 lanes. Obviously, if the rocks weren't there, we could have spread out a little bit more to give Fenris Wolf some space, but we didn't need to use him because we had the priority and Negasonic was only played last turn. So yeah, that's a nice win. Cool. Cool, so we have Sam Wilson, Galactic, Black Bolt and Negasonic. We cannot play any one cost cards into a Hellfire Club. We only have Nebinos, that's not a problem. So this is Thanos. Pet Mansion, so we might as well play Sam Wilson. Now Hellfire Club becomes interesting. So because they have stones, we could play Jean Grey into Hellfire Club, and that's going to force them, we have 2 Jean Greys, to play something potentially bigger there, which we can maybe snipe with Negasonic. Obviously, if it's Thanos, that's no good for us. The shield gets hit with Red Guardian, so we need to try and win some other lanes, and of course they get the Iron Patriot discount, but... and there's a Fenris Wolf as well. Yeah, the problem is, because of Mind Stone, you think they maybe have the Soul Stone. We can move this to wherever we need it to be. I think we play Galacta, just because we need some more power. And we need to see where we can play it. Obviously, they've got a discounted Iron Patriot card, so they're probably happy to play into the Jean Grey lane, depending what it is. We can't get priority, so Negasonic will be visible to them for their turn. Obviously, the flip side is they might not be able to get stones down on the board. Actually, that's not bad because, yeah, they might need to have the Soul Stone down, but obviously if they can't put it down first turn, So we do this. Yeah, Fenris is going to go right anyway, because I think that's the lane we potentially need to win. If they play Thanos now, we could potentially snipe it with Shang-Chi still. Dark Hulk is big. Cosmos we can't now hit Cosmo. Can't now hit Dark Hulk with Shang-Chi. We move this card out. Can't play Nebula into Hellfire Club. They retreated.
Victory.
Thanks. Yeah. Not totally sure how we would have won that, you know. We didn't destroy anything, we didn't discard anything. That's 6 cards in hand. Obviously Black Bolt probably hit a stone, but they had Mind Stone. But yeah, so Jean Grey against Thanos and Hellfire Club, that worked nicely because it restricted what they could put down. They still would have had Thanos, so I don't know why they didn't play him. Probably worried about the Fenris Wolf and Shang-Chi and them not being able to protect Thanos. Yeah, I'm not sure what we would have done. Should have kept the shield in Hellfire Club. Because we have Galacta, we could move another card out. I think we possibly would have just played Shang-Chi. Possibly mid. And then Fenris brought him back, although they could have played him right, and then we would have lost anyway. Yeah, difficult game, but lucky to get a cube. Let's put it that way.